I now owe him some ice cream. Oh, sugar.
Can you recommend a good place to avoid these common mistakes to make the most of your Yellowstone adventure? Give yourself at least...
Almost out. What just happened at Biscuit Basin in Yellowstone National Park? This is a classic example.
Gobble me. Here you are. Here you are. Yeah. That's a name I am. Hey, Lee.
Hi, how are you? Lovely rainy day.
Hi, Lee. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, can you hear me? Good.
There,
I
I
had
can
fun
now if I
playing with
turn
the
my
I had fun playing
speakers
with the
on.
backgrounds.
Yeah.
I'm in a sunny, warm
Yeah,
place.
actually. Hey, Zach.
Hello, Evelyn. What's happening?
Oh, not too much. Actually, I was driving into work this morning and I swore I saw somebody look exactly like you walking across the bridge. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's a miracle. Although it
Yeah,
wasn't.
it's a heck of a
But
miracle.
you've got a doppelganger out there.
That's my twin brother. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh man, that must be. I actually have seen like a picture of somebody who looks like me, and
wow.
I've seen people in the restaurant. That's what happened. It looked
Yep.
exactly like me, and I'm like, am I seeing things?
No, it's funny when that happens.
That's the thing, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Is Kelly back from her vacation?
She is, yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I may
So
have to turn my camera off at some point. Just my internet is not the best here at home.
exactly right. Yeah.
But I'm still here. And I'm
Today's like
happy to take minutes too, if that's helpful.
oh, okay, that could be helpful. Um, today's like floating holiday, isn't it? Sort of a floating holiday for people.
I know when, because yesterday was Bennington Battle Day. I know a lot of
It was
places observe
yesterday.
that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim.
Hello.
Let's see. It's one, two, three, and I count four. All right, that's good. Um, just double check something over here. Oh, five. How nice. It's really good stuff. We've got a quorum. Isn't that a great thing? That's awesome. Huh?
Yeah, you only need four for a quorum, Zach.
Is that right?
Yeah, you only got seven members.
Yep. Oh, let's see what's going on here. I'm just grabbing the agenda here. I do have my laptop. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and call us to order. Um, welcome, everybody. And I'm going to start us out with introductions because and then we'll go from there. I'm going to start. I'm Zach Hughes. I'm the current chair of this committee. I do street outreach alongside Osa and Don, but I do my street outreach for another way. Um, and I also do consulting work for a variety of different places, and I serve on the board at Vermont Center for Independent Living and Vermont Psychiatric Survivors. Vermont Psychiatric Survivors as their president currently. So that's me, and I'm going to move us to Lee.
Hi, Lee Wilczek, Montpelier, volunteer for the committee.
Um, awesome, Jim.
Jim Sheridan, City Council Liaison.
Okay, Marty. When you get a chance, Marty.
Sorry, Marty Roberts, member of the committee.
Alrighty. Let's see what's going on over here. And then Carrie.
Hey there.
Hello, Carrie. You want to introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. Sorry. Carrie Brown. I'm one of the city council liaisons from District 3.
Okay. And Don.
Don Little, Montpelier resident, committee member, street outreach for Good Samaritan Haven.
Oh, very well. And Evelyn.
There we go. Evelyn Prim, Communications Coordinator for the City of Montpelier, serving in for staff liaison Matt Jelasik while he is away.
Okay, I thought he had retired. No, I'm kidding. All right. Um, anyway, there are folks I'd like to introduce again Nancy Reed. She's a prospective member.
Right. Hi, Nancy Reed, prospective member of the Homelessness Committee, just listening in.
Very well. And I have David Delacour if he wishes to introduce himself or just observe.
David Delcourt from the Times Argus.
Thank you very much. And I think I have everybody. So we're going to review and approve the agenda next, and so that's going to be we're going to call to order. We did that. We're reviewing and approving the agenda now. We're going to review and approve the minutes from August 3rd. We do have those in transcript form. And we are then going to talk about the pavilion occupancy deterrence, is what I call it. I received a copy of the email that I got from a former member of when it was a task force here. And winter planning. Thought we could discuss the recommendation of the council that we started talking about last time around collaboration between Barry, Berlin, and Montpelier. Then we all had public comment. And then I did something different with the agenda this time. I combined all the updates into one area. So updates include city council, street outreach, and other updates, if any. And then we will adjourn if there's no other business. Okay, does that agenda sound good to folks? Okay. Next, going to review and approve the minutes from August 3rd meeting. And I did just, yes, sorry.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay. Did you want to speak? Are you good?
Yeah, I just had a really minor point. I did not intend to ask staff to check the very cold weather capacity, although I'd be happy if they would, since I haven't done it yet. But I just mentioned that it would be good to check the Berry capacity for extreme cold weather occupancy. But I
Okay.
don't know if it was specified who was going to do it. I was kind of assuming it would be me, but things haven't really been going that way.
Well, I thought it was going to be one of us. It might be you. It might be me. It might be somebody.
Yeah, I mean, we could just say that I mentioned the need for, or a desire to check the capacity that Barry had. That it wasn't specified, because what it says now that was that I had asked staff to do it, which I didn't intend to do.
Okay.
Although, again, if someone wants to do it, hey.
Okay. So
you
go
want
ahead.
to amend the minutes, Don?
We could do that. Yeah, I think we probably should in the interest of accuracy. Yeah.
So did you want to?
So
Sorry. Go ahead.
I guess you make a motion to that.
Okay. I'm sorry. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes for August 3rd, and where I was unclear is whether there was an amendment at all.
I could move that we amend that to say that it was suggested that we check the Berry capacity for cold weather occupancy.
Okay.
I'd like to move that.
I'd like to put that.
We amended just slightly to say that.
All right. So that's your motioning then, and with that amendment. And do I have a second?
Second it.
Okay.
Lee.
Lee. Thank you. And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, abstaining. Those minutes pass. Thank you very much. And now I am going to move to pavilion occupancy deterrence. I put this on the agenda after getting an email from a former member of when it was a task force, Tori Roden. And then I got an email from Carrie. I think Jim was in on it too. And, so I thought we should just put that here. And that is described in the email that I provided folks. But if you haven't read it, it's basically a sound device at the pavilion area that's meant to deter people from staying in that area. And I kind of compared it to having a bird device at the airport to scare off, you know, people, animals from the runway. So, I mean, that's was kind of a shock to me, and I think some others here. I've already started receiving feedback that it does not necessarily deter people, and it's annoying. So, this is just to be clear though, this, if I get it right from what I've read, this is a state issue. So it's in the capital city where the homelessness committee is the capital city, but this is a state move. So I'm going to open it up at this point. And I didn't know who wanted to go first to talk about a little more. See you, Don, at all? Or I didn't. Right. I didn't know if maybe Carrie or Jim wanted to speak to it as well.
Yeah, I can. Oh, go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Carrie. I didn't really actually say anything about it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I saw the post on Front Porch Forum, and we got an email from a constituent about it, and so I looked for there were apparently some emails that someone had made a public records request from the state. And so I wanted to see those for myself. So I got a copy of that, and that's what I sent to you, Zach, and to you, Jim. And I'm not sure if I sent it to others, but it does seem pretty clear that what was in Front Porch Forum was that a member of the public heard these bird noises, was worried there was a bird in distress, asked someone at the state who said, no, it's not a bird in distress. It's a bird noisemaker that we do to try to discourage birds from nesting in the porch at the pavilion building.
Right.
But it actually doesn't seem to be true. It seems that BGS installed these bird noisemakers to try to discourage people from sleeping on the porch. They've been having a lot of problems with like human waste on the porch. Somebody set a fire on the porch one night. It's a sort of an ongoing challenge for them.
And so, for those who are not, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
For those who are not familiar, I'm assuming the porch is that front area facing State Street.
Yeah, and it does wrap around the side of the building as well by the Supreme Court building.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to just provide that information that I had found, and folks can do with that what they may. I will just say that personally, I'm not too thrilled with the fact that a state employee told someone the noisemakers were there to discourage birds from nesting when that wasn't actually the case. But I don't know if that's a miscommunication or just, failure for one hand to know what the other hand is doing. But that's part of what concerns me, is I would prefer the state be open and upfront in their communication about what they're doing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And this just seems different to me. I haven't heard of something like this. Well, I mean, maybe I have, but it kind of caught me off guard. Jim?
Well, way back when I was first on the council, this was done in City Hall to try to stop the pigeons from going in the tower. And if you ever went up there, you would be waist deep in pigeon do.
Yeah.
And so they tried noise. They tried, putting a wooden owl up there. And finally, they realized the best thing to do was just to net it off.
Right.
Put kind of this thick fencing up there that would stop the pigeons from getting in there because the noise didn't really do. I mean, it worked for about a day or two. Same with the owl, but they quickly realized that it's nothing that's threatening. So people put them up by their gardens, those owls, and they only work for a day or two. Things quickly figure out that they're not real. So that could have been part of the reason because we did that, there, and it was about pigeons. So
Right. Right.
I don't think there's much we can do about it. It's the state,
Right. Right.
it's the governor's building, and
Yep.
I don't think we should antagonize them if we want to try to get funds from them over this.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's worth our time, to be quite
Okay.
honest.
Okay. That's okay. Again, we're just putting it on the agenda to kind of get this sense and also get, other feedback. You know, um, it's you're right, Jim. This could be seen the wrong way if we pushed it a little bit, and um, so yeah. I mean, but I thought I had heard of this sort of thing being done before, but not here. So yeah. Um, so does anyone else have any comments?
Go
Oops.
ahead.
Okay. Um, all right. For now, we'll just keep an eye on it and see where it goes. Um, but I want to just note that I had received feedback that it is not necessarily a deterrent, and and it is annoying. So we'll see. Um, next, winter planning, and I thought that, and I don't know where we can really go with this, but I was really intrigued by this idea of a recommendation to collaborate with Barry, Berlin, and us in Montpelier um, around a shelter. It could also be done with other things. It doesn't necessarily just has to be the shelter, but it was an idea that was floated. But because I had to bring us back to the center because we were running behind, this kind of got delayed. Being discussed more, I think, or you know, acted on. Plus, we were playing around with language a little bit. Um, so my understanding was, oh, Jim,
This was a Matt thing.
right.
If, and if Evelyn doesn't know anything about it, we're not, there's no sense
So
really.
why don't we plan? Thank you, Jim. If members do not have an objection, I would like to move it to our next meeting or when Matt gets back. It'd be great.
Yeah.
I would,
Appreciate. Go ahead, Don.
Thanks.
again, I would vaguely suggest that before we do a recommendation, that we figure out the Berry capacity and that we also talk to the Berry Homelessness Task Force if it's still meeting.
Oh, it
But
is.
again, that's something that Tess would know, just to
So
figure out what their capacity is. And
so
I
the
know in
good.
the past that whenever we prepare for a big event, it turns out to be wildly anticlimactic. But I
Yeah.
would really hate to be wrong about, and underprepared for something, given that people have frozen to death.
All right. So the good news is that we'll be able to kind of start doing all that in between, because we're going to move it to the next meeting when Matt gets back. Um, and that'll be what we'll do. Um, and now we move into public comment. This is a time for members of the public to make a comment. Um, so I'm going to open it up. Okay. I am not hearing any public comment, so I am going to close that at this time with the public's appreciation for being here. Update City Council. Jim and Carrie, you're on. Jim or Carrie, whoever wants to start.
Well, I don't know if we did talk about it in the last meeting, but it was very brief. We didn't really make any kind of decision. I don't even think Matt had much to update us on, so we really it wasn't, it was towards the end of the night on a long night,
Right.
and so we did not really discuss it all that much.
Okay.
We were mostly hung up with the union people.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would agree. We don't have any significant updates at this point.
Okay, yeah.
But if there are questions that folks have that we can take back to the city council or take back to city staff, we would love to hear them.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, yeah. Okay. And I did want to make mention while we are on city council, we did get an email. I did get an email today indicating that Jay Voorhees would like to join the committee, and he's in the process at this point.
Yay.
Nice.
Hey, that's really cool. So I just wanted to say that that's good news. Okay, so street outreach update. Dawn, do you want to go first?
Let me think. It's been a long week. It's hard to remember. Transportation continues to be an issue. Theft continues to be an issue. People having, leaving for a couple of hours or for the day and coming back to find that all of their gear and possessions have been removed. One case that I know about, I was kind of surprised because it's a little out of the way. I don't think it was the city, because I think the city would have given the person notice to move his stuff, and the police were aware that he was there and had just requested that he keep his tent poles away from the path.
Yeah.
So I don't think, they seem to be fine. Whoops, I don't know if I should have said that. Anyway, and there was no notice given, and it was less than 24 hours since he had even started camping there, and he had not received a notice. So I think this is people outside stealing gear. So again, I don't know what the locker capacity is at this point, but theft is an issue. Transportation is an issue. Fortunately, it's gotten a little bit cooler, so maybe that's not as much of an issue as it was. I don't know. I've been frustrated by, I had someone who really wanted to get into rehab but didn't have insurance, and apparently Medicaid, or the quickest way to get Medicare, is state-based insurance, but you have to actually live in one of the states, and some people move around a lot. So I'm just going to have to talk to him about, if he's willing to apply through Vermont, which is not where he is at the moment. I don't know. It's just, it's the usual stuff. A lot of calls.
I think when you're saying transportation, what we also see, and I'll just real quick here, what we see is I've had requests for transportation for people who are not allowed on buses right now during the day. So usually we get these requests, or I get them at night, because one time I was a problem solver with transportation at night for some reason. Anyway, the daytime seems to be trying to get them to court or something like that, and that's the challenge. Carrie?
Yeah, I had a question about the lockers. I'm wondering if either one of you can tell me about them, because I've been wondering about them. I remember when we put them in place over behind the senior center, and there was a whole system for people could get a key or get a combination or something and use those lockers. And I would love an update, or to hear how it's actually working, or if it's working, or if there's something different we need to do.
I don't think that, I don't know, some of them may be in use. I don't think the ones that we put out are in use. The last time I tried to get into the street outreach locker, the combination had been changed, I believe, and I couldn't get in. I tried to get into someone else's locker who said they had a tent in there, could not get in. There was a question about whether, I guess the city had wanted street outreach to do that, and that does not work really well because it's very hard to get people, uh, especially if they don't have a phone, they don't know what time it is. It's very hard to get them to meet you at the appointed time to fill out the paperwork. And it seemed much easier to have it somewhere where people that was consistently in this open at the same time where people could go in and do it. And since that's where the paperwork ultimately goes anyway, it seemed like it made sense to do it through the city. I
Right.
don't know. So it's just kind of been this amorphous thing hanging out there for a few months, as far as I know.
Okay, Evelyn.
Yeah, I'm happy to provide what I know on that. So I remember this is probably about 4 years ago now when the lockers were they ended up being phased out of the city's responsibility because we had two instances where female city staff were attacked overnight as they were trying to help people get to access lockers. And so as positions have continued to dwindle in City Hall, we have not been able to bring that service back in a safe way. And so that was what I remember from my conversations back with Bill and Kelly back in
I don't
several years ago.
remember hearing about that. Can you tell me they were not attacked at City Hall during the day then? Can you tell me the
No,
circumstances of the attacks?
from my understanding, it was the lockers behind the rec building, and this was happening at night. And so we would have there were again I can go back and ask our police department if there were actual incident reports filed for those, but this is just again this is kind of my secondhand knowledge of what had happened, and that it was it was we weren't able to have city staff access the lockers and help people get what they need to in a safe way. And so
I,
that's basically just it was just not feasible.
would it be possible to separate the registration and contract process from the physical accessing of the lockers? Because it's very difficult for us to go through the appointment and the registration process, but it seems really unreasonable to me that city staff should have to do anything like that at night. And it
Right.
seems like that is a part of it that street outreach could do more easily.
Okay.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
why they had to be on site at night, whether people were having trouble getting into the lockers or whether that's a normal part of the process, having someone present at the lockers. But I hadn't heard about that at all.
Okay, and Carrie, I
Yeah,
don't want to
thanks.
lose you.
I agree with Dawn. I'm not sure why that has to be part of the process. I don't know what happened before, and I don't know what the process was before, but it does seem to me like it shouldn't be too hard for the city to be able to figure out a way to get people access to the lockers without the city employee needed to go out at night and
Right.
physically be there.
Yeah.
So let's
I
see
know
if we
that
can figure that out because it's only a few lockers. It's not very much. It doesn't have a huge impact, but it's something we can do. And I'm always looking for what can the city do? There's very little we
Right.
can do. This is something we
Right.
can. We
Right.
invested in these lockers. We have them. Let's figure out a system to make them work.
Yeah, I know
So,
when we acquired we had one of them was going to be a street outreach locker, and all we did is we went in to City Hall, filled out the papers, we filled it out for street outreach, and I also got one for one person who was living outside, and they gave us the combination, and that their part was done as soon as we gave them the papers and they gave us the combination.
right.
Um, and then we sort of lost track of what was happening with it, but I wasn't aware that there was a need to be on site. Um, hmm.
Yeah. So, my question then, it probably was already asked in another way here, but I mean, are they? I mean, so I assume the lockers are just kind of just sitting right now then?
Some of them have people's stuff in them, and some of them I don't know. And I might actually
And I asked a question because I mean it motivates us to either figure that out or figure out that system as
Mhm.
Carrie and Don and others have
Yeah,
any.
that's definitely. Sorry,
Go
Zach. I was just going to
go
say
ahead.
that's from city staff's perspective. That's definitely something I can take back to our team and find out. Unfortunately, we don't have many staff who
Yeah.
are still working here that existed during that time. So we're
Right.
operating with a lot of imperfect information. And so,
Time to call him out of retirement. I'm just kidding.
I'm also a little
Evelyn, I'm
concerned.
happy to work with you on that if it's helpful,
great.
because I do remember when it started and I would love to see it continue.
That'd be very helpful.
I,
Thank you, Carrie.
All
it
right.
would also be really helpful if something like I feel terrible that that happened. I don't. I'm also a little concerned that we didn't hear about it because it would be a really good thing for us to know who was involved in the assault or how it happened.
Or
So
maybe.
if you do get that information, I'd love to know that.
For sure.
Just so that we could make people aware if there are people out there assaulting city employees, because I know that all the assaults I'm aware of over, 12 years have been people
Right.
outside involved in personal issues, interpersonal issues with other people outside. It's the first time I've actually ever heard of anyone,
Right.
from the city being assaulted, and I'd love to know who was involved if that's possible.
Yeah, I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can find if there's information that exists, and definitely let you know.
All right. Um, and I just wanted to say, think things are starting to kind of, Don might agree with me or not. I think things are starting to slightly tone back just a little bit, not much. But I will say that that wild weekend I described at the last meeting, um, you know, I seem to not be having these wild ones right now. But Jim, we did that segment on the downtown. I put it on downtown piece, and it was meant to talk about we'd raised in concern about, these violent acts. And I think, one of the things I wanted to say about that is that we want to differentiate. I mean, make sure to break that up a little bit. Because some of the behaviors are really rough, and So anyway, my point being is, I think that's starting to tone back a little bit, but you never know. It changes. It changes. Like right now, it's probably quiet, but earlier today there was something going on downtown. So just bear in mind that it comes and goes in waves. Um, but I just want to report on that. Um, and We continue to coordinate. We continue to do water service, which, when it gets really warm out, we'll bring water to designated locations. This is where we know people are. This is really important. We like to know where they are so we can do things like this. And so if we don't know where they are, we're not able to do that. But we've identified at least 3 different locations where, I'll go on a daily basis, and I try to get out there at least twice a day. But given my current health conditions, it's been interesting doing that. And my scooter broke down briefly. So, and you'll love this. I was in my wheelchair last week doing it. So, I went into town in my wheelchair. And I don't think Don really realized it till I told her that. And yeah, so it's all very good. I mean, the best we can do. And that's all I have.
Um,
Anything else? Go ahead.
yeah, I want to apologize because my hand raiser thingy is not
Yes,
consistently accessible right now, but I'm a little concerned. I can't think of any circumstances really where a city employee, other than people who normally work at night or do grounds, I can't think of offhand of a circumstance where a city employee would need to go out at night to meet with people who are living outside. But I would strongly encourage anyone, whether it's a city office worker or a member of the public who wants to volunteer, I would really request that people talk to Street Outreach first so that we could either support you, accompany you, or at least advise you as to what might be safe or how it might be safe to approach people, both for the people out there and for the people who are approaching them.
Mhm. Okay.
Because we just really prefer that people do that for everybody's. And I don't mean to imply that it's normally a dangerous thing, but it just,
Yeah.
we tend to know what you're getting into, and sometimes we're available to go out with you. So that would be something to keep in mind. Thank you.
And even, street outreach has requested support from the police on occasion when we've had to go out to do. I
Well, if
think,
it's someone, yeah, if it's someone we don't know, um, then there are times when we have either gone with more than one of us or requested other support. But we've
Mhm.
also had people volunteering. There's a lot of different times and a lot of different approaches that people have taken, and most of them are great. But if you, for instance, wake someone up at night and it's someone you don't know and they're not expecting you, you don't know how people are going to react. Um,
Mhm.
so we do prefer to talk to people real quickly before if they are planning to go out. And the other thing is the lack of privacy and requesting that people respect people's privacy, which is minimal to begin with.
Right.
So,
Okay. And the other thing I wanted to mention just briefly, I'm trying to get what I like to refer to as live stories from folks. Um, Given that that we've had some, like how people, depending on the day, I might sit down and ask certain things like, how are things going? I might ask them how they ended up here. Stuff like that's helpful. Um, don't use their names, of course, but the idea is just to get some live stories because I think that's an important thing. So that closes street outreach. And I did have another piece of um, business I should have added at the beginning, I think, but um, I just want to let folks know that the I'm calling it our subcommittee without quorum, Evelyn. Just so you know, there's no quorum requirements. It's only 3 people, um, and it's meeting to talk about putting together a meeting, um, with folks in the community, like we were talking about, maybe the library or something, and the idea was to put together a little educational piece. Um, and we got together for the first time on, I guess it was last week at some point. Sorry, I don't have it right in front of me, but Marty, Allie, and I got together, um, and so that we did do that meeting, and we came up with some um, ideas of what we wanted to do. But we're going to keep going to do another, you know, meeting, and we're looking at something perhaps as far as an event. We want to plan it out, of course. I want to emphasize this that we want to plan it out. That was something that we wanted to talk about and continue to do. And but we're looking at something maybe in October. So I just wanted to let you know where we're going, and it's not finalized or anything. It comes back here anyway, and so it's coming back here for the first time tonight. Yeah, I didn't know we were going to get meeting that quickly, so that's why I didn't get put on the actual agenda. So I'll open up to any questions or comments from others. Oh, Jim, sorry. I'm now on. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I was gonna second what you said, Zach, that it has been much quieter out there as far as the violence. I mean, we had those 6 incidents in less than a month, but there was only one police report since we got from the last meeting, and I don't know whether it involved an unhoused person or not. It
Right.
was there's a person, it was an incident at the park and ride, and it may not even been an unhoused person.
Yeah.
Um, I will say this, Wednesday night at our meeting, I went out front on the break and there were more unhoused on the front porch of the city hall than there was people in our meeting.
Okay, then I think y'all should move it outside and have a conversation. No, I'm kidding. You could.
They were very well behaved though. I went out there, nobody gave me any trouble or anything, and I was thinking they have more at this meeting than we do people that came to ours. Although once we got to the agenda on the oh the people there that are part of the well, we had an agenda item that had a bunch of people, union people. Then
Yep.
we had a bunch of people there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. And Carrie.
Thanks. I had a question for the street outreach folks.
Sure.
And I don't know if you can answer this or exactly what my question is, but I've been noticing on Front Porch Forum, no, not on Front Porch Forum, on the Montpelier Friends
Yes.
Facebook group,
Mhm.
people will often post saying, I need some food tonight. I
Yeah.
need this tonight. I need that right now. And
Mhm.
I'm wondering how is what's the best way to respond there, and what access do they maybe already have with street outreach or with services that are available? Because it seems like we've got a pretty good amount of services available for people to get food and stuff like that. But I'm just wondering if you have any sort of advice that we could give to folks who are reading that.
I can go, and I'll let Don speak to it as well. I think one of the interesting things is because some of the suggestions, including from me, are not as cut dry as could be, and that is that like we'll say, well, why can't can you go to the food food shelf, or can you go to the soup, or not soup kitchen, but the lunches? And there are some complications with the situation. Maybe the person isn't allowed at the lunch facility, because maybe they were trespassed, or maybe food preservation is difficult as well. So the idea of going to the food shelf um, might be difficult. And there's other things. What's that? I didn't know if someone was trying to speak.
Also, the need to carry what you have around with you, because sometimes it's a bit much to ask people to carry more than a few hours worth of food if they already have everything with them and they have physical limitations. So that's one possibility. Or that's one obstacle with using the food pantry.
And can I?
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
I work at the community table, and we have very few people that are considered no trespass, and if they are, they still get fed. We will
Okay,
take
great.
lunch out to them. So
Appreciate
there's no reason Monday through Friday that somebody shouldn't be fed at lunch.
Okay.
And speaking of lunch, can I just ask one more question? Jim, when you mention the police reports, are you I'm just mentioning because the police were called today at the community lunch. I'm wondering if you're including the community lunch in your police reports, because that's a source for, we actually called Washington County Mental Health as well. That's a source of some issues, and I'm just making sure that it's looped into your reporting.
Well, when I say police reports, we are sent on the council serious reports, and they describe, the people, what happened, and
From whom? From the police?
police. Yeah.
Okay.
This
That's fine.
this is from police who are letting us know that a serious incident has happened, and they kind of describe it, and usually the person's sent to one of the holding jails or
That's
something.
fine. That would include the community table. So if the police were involved in community table, that would be involved in your report. So I just want to make sure that we're included in that.
Yeah, we usually get it a day or two after it happens.
Right.
Yep.
Um,
Yes,
yes, Tom.
sir. I have two things. One is, again, I don't know how practical this is. Again, before people especially go out at night to give people food, I like it if they will contact street outreach, because we might have specific information about the people who are looking for it, the areas they're calling from, what the situation is. And we've also gotten a certain amount of, we've gotten criticism from people. Oh, these people don't have any food. What's wrong with street outreach? Why aren't you helping them? And it would be nice to be able to address those concerns as well. But I
Okay.
wanted to say, Carrie, if you'd like more information on this, please call me. Because I really don't want to go into a lot of detail in this
Or if anyone wants.
venue.
Thank you, Don. I would love to
Okay.
talk.
I mean, anybody who's gonna volunteer, it would be, in the ideal world, I personally would feel good if they talked to us first about the circumstances, and especially if they're planning on going out alone at night, if they would talk to us. It may very well be safe, but they may want just a clearer picture. And we might not always have the information, but often we have more information than just reading the post. And I may draw criticism for that, but
All
whatever.
right. You're all right.
But please do call me if you'd like more information, Carrie.
Okay. I didn't know if I saw Carrie's hand prior or if your hand's down now,
Or
Carrie.
anyone.
No,
And then
I'm all set. Thank you, Don. I would love to talk.
Thank
I'll
you,
get in touch.
Don.
Great.
And
I'd like
Evelyn.
to- Thank you. That
you.
would be, I think, a great, if it's okay with the street outreach team, I would love to include a update to our the FAQ that we circulated to the downtown businesses, just
Yeah,
with your
please.
contact information, so that
Yeah.
people would be able to contact you and know who to go to if that's okay with this group.
No objection.
It's fine. I think we should, manage expectations or whatever. And I'd be really interested in knowing what information it was that you sent out to them, if it's possible to see that.
Yeah, I believe we've already it's
Yeah, we have.
yeah,
Okay,
you
do we have
should
that
have them
back? All right, I just
circulated in
haven't
the
seen it
email
then.
back.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're
I mean, anybody
continuing
with any
to.
questions, I mean, I'm not promising that we are going to do whatever it is they want, but anybody wanting information is welcome to call me at any time.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, great. So that's really important stuff. That's all part of that whole, subcommittee thing too, talking about better ways to get, stuff out there. So anyway, okay. I think we've reached the bottom of our agenda, and we are early. Does anyone else have any business at this time? Okay, Jim, I'm sorry. I see your hand now. Jim?
Jim, you're on mute.
And I see you, Marty.
Zach, I was going to say, don't schedule a meeting in 2 weeks. It's going to be Labor Day weekend.
Okay, well, we won't do that.
Probably the week after Labor Day.
This is impossible. It's not possible that it's already Labor Day weekend. Okay.
I wish.
Look, I was in the nursing home when it started to be summertime. What's up?
We only got 2 more weeks of August.
Come on. Oh, goodness. Okay, we won't schedule that then. And we'll go, I guess. How does that actually, does that mean it goes to the next Monday after that? Or
yeah, that's what I would do.
All right. Well, we'll go there, and by then Matt should be back, and we'll roll the other stuff.
Wait.
Did someone want to speak?
Marty does.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, Marty, go ahead.
So I had notes here from the last time that we were hoping or planning or something to speak ourselves to the business association. And then there was not finding the second thing. Sorry, I just lost it.
Okay.
Oh, making some contact with the Barry people.
Yep. Yeah, we're working on getting over to their next meeting.
So how about letting us all know when that is, or maybe I can find out so we all could know about it at least and decide.
Certainly. I can, yes, what I'll do is I'll check into that after this meeting. I'll put an email out to the chair over there and we'll go from there. And I'll notify this committee as I've always usually done. So we'll do that because that is a good connection there because, Barry wants to learn from us as well. So that's a good thing. All right, so we'll do that. And I do believe the business association, we had a bunch of folks going over there to speak. I think, or not speak, just be there, right, Jim? Or so Jim, and I think it was going to be Jim, Matt, and I don't know if there was going to be someone else was going to go over there. So, all right. Do we have any other business tonight? All right. With that said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn otherwise, with the thanks of everyone coming out, including public and the press. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I would second that.
So move, and Don seconding. Okay, my favorite part of this, it's all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, abstaining, good luck. Appreciate y'all coming out, and we'll do this again, but it won't be on Labor Day, okay? And y'all have a safe time, and we'll talk again, okay? Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Hmm.